My father always told me that the squeaking wheel is the one that gets the grease. So if you're getting this, it's because I've looked your name up as being one of the people in charge of casting for the Alone Show. Now, before you throw this in the garbage can, I'm 69 years old, but hold on a minute. I'm not your typical 69-year-old person. I can do 50 push-ups. If you watch the videos that I've attached, you'll see me doing, I think, 40-some. I just quit doing it, but I can do 50. I go to the gym 3 or 4 days a week, exercise a total of 5 or 6 days a week. I live on a farm here in northern Kentucky. There's always something to do around on the farm. My name is Rodger Bingham. Address is P.O. Box 461, Crittenden, Kentucky 41030. Phone number is 513-260-5557. I've lived here in Crittenden my entire life, still live on a farm. One of the things that I am not a marijuana smoking hippie. I am not someone that lives off the grid. What I am, I guess if you had to sum it up, I guess you could say I'm a God-fearing, gun-toting, loyal American. And that pretty well sums up who I am. I do have a Bachelor of Science and a Master's degree from Eastern Kentucky University. I was able to put myself through college, never had to borrow any money. My parents never gave me any money. I never inherited any money. I was able to put myself through school by working. I started in grade school, raising the tobacco crop and selling that, saving my money. I've also had cattle most of my life. I've still got cattle on my farm. So when I graduated with a master's degree in 1970, I owed no money. I mean, I was teetotally broke, but I had a college degree and didn't owe anybody a penny. When you've been on a show like Alone, I did have an opportunity to be on a show somewhat similar. I was on Survivor 2, the Australian Outback, back in 2001, I believe it was, when it aired. And I learned, and I always knew I was very good at it, but I provided basically 80% of the food for my entire group. I was very good at building shelters. I did lose 35 pounds in the 36 days that I was on the show. But had I been out there by myself, I was catching enough food and could have survived very, very well on my own. I've always been a student of life. I've always read numerous books about survival skills, practiced many of those skills. And if you watch the 3 videos that I've attached, you'll see me using some of these skills. So, I feel like, and I know that I could do very well on a show like Alone. And watching that show, most of the people, maybe a couple that I've seen, maybe didn't have as good of skills as they should have had. I don't think I would be the best one as far as survival skills, but on the other hand, I most definitely would not be the worst one as far as survival skills. Everything, and I've watched all 3 seasons. I usually tape the show and watch it 3 times during the week, and I'll always critique each person to see, what they're doing, why are they doing things this way, why are they doing things that way. And basically, I've not seen any of them do anything out there that I could not do. I used to teach industrial arts, woodworking, drafting classes, metalworking, welding, things of this type. I've built houses, teaching woodworking. We built gun cabinets, cedar chests, you name it, chest of drawers. We built about anything, dining room tables, about anything you can think of. So I do have quite a few practical skills, plus my farming background. We've always killed our own hogs. We've always killed our own beef, our own chickens. We used to have trees to grow our own fruit trees and things. Anymore, we don't have that. So I do have quite a variety of background as far as things of that nature. I've also had a variety of jobs, and I've been successful at all of them, and I'm not bragging, that's just a fact of life. I was a chief executive officer in a bank. I owned a lumber company and a hardware store. I built a subdivision, built a mobile home park, and when I say built these, I was actually the guy signing the checks at the end of the week for supplies, and I was also the guy down in the ditch sliding the pipe together, laying the water lines, pouring the concrete. And during this time, I would work literally 14 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. So hard work is something that I am used to. You know, being on a show like Alone, you know, you do have to have survival skills. And like I said, most of the people, the vast majority of them, do have the skills necessary to survive the longest on a show like Alone. But it all comes down to their mental attitude, and it comes down to what they got in here on the inside. And that's one place I think I would really shine. Be it because I'm a little older, got experience. You know, like I said, I've been pretty successful most of my life. I did go through a divorce here 6, 7 years ago. I'd been married for 42 years. So I did have to give up, you know, a good portion of what I had been able to accumulate over the years, and that was fine. So the money for me definitely is a major consideration. Now the other consideration, and to me this is even more important, they would literally have to carry me off of a show like Alone. I would not quit. The reason I would not quit, besides the money, but even of more importance, my 2 grandkids would be watching that show. Grandson's 14, my granddaughter's 12. And you know, we have a very good relationship, like hopefully most grandkids and grandparents do. And you know, my grandkids pretty well think that the sun rises and sets in their grandfather. And I certainly would not do anything to ever change their mind about that. So, you know, if you're interested, let me show you a little bit of my house here where I live. I've got some things in my house that are a little different. I'm in my living room right here, a little different than what most people have in their living room probably. Let me get the camera here. Right over here you can see that I've got a spinner bicycle that I work out on. Come around over this way. There's an exercise ball that I do stretching exercises on. Right here is a rowing machine. And if you've ever got on one of those give you a workout, both cardio and also use just about every muscle in your back. Then if we come over here, there's my 2 grandkids, and there's a little poem that my granddaughter wrote for me 5 or 6 years ago. It says, "You make me laugh, you make me smile, but there's not a grandparent that I'd choose over you." And my granddaughter wrote that. So, you know, give me a call. Live here in Crittenden, Kentucky. I think I could be the final person to leave on a show like Alone. I've got the skills, but most important of all, I've got the right mental attitude and I've got the right heart to stay out there the longest. So look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot.